positive things to say about the newest video game movie,
Mm,
Uncharted, which hit theaters this weekend.
yep,
Tom
very s
Holland, not Peter Parker in this, and our favorite actor to, I guess, clown on in recent years, Mark Wahlberg, the
yeah.
two headliners here. Um, boy, I guess just like I'll pass you the rock first because I've never played the Uncharted series. So, basically, what I know of it's like adventure Indiana Jones type series, and
Yeah.
very popular. And so, did you feel like this? Do you feel like this lived up to the the classic comic or video game turned into movie trope of it's going to be bad, or was it serviceable? Because I don't know if I would say that this was really good, but maybe not terrible.
Yeah. So I it's not really good. It has a lot of, I think, kind of obvious filmmaking flaws. However, it's not utter dog shit either. I was for the most part pretty entertained. That being
Mhm.
said, I have a very limited experience with the Uncharted series, long running PlayStation series. Um, so I'm not the best person to ask in terms of the adaptation side of things. However, it's not like trying to be like a hard adaptation anyway, because when you cast Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, you are doing a clear switch from how Drake is portrayed in the games. Nathan Drake is a lot older in the games, and Tom
He's more like
Holland,
Wahlberg.
right? And Tom Holland is just precocious. Still,
Hmm.
he comes across as very young. Yeah, I know he's in his early 20s, but he still comes across as a very young man. So that's just not the Drake that I think people think about. There was the fan clamoring for someone like Nathan Fillion to play Drake for years. Like that's a far cry from how what you get from Tom Holland. And honestly, like the Sully character also comes across as a lot older than what you get from someone like Mark Wahlberg. So it's just kind of a different spin and truly like the origin, the Drake origin. But like they're gonna have greenlit a second Uncharted movie because this has had a very successful start to the box office, which is a nice sign. But Tom Holland's not gonna like suddenly come across as old when they make Uncharted 2. So it's just not a perfect analog. But I had a decent time in terms of like, you know, ripping off more familiar and better executed on stuff like Indiana Jones and like even like the Dan Brown, like Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code kind of stuff. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
I actually like enjoyed all that stuff, even if I've seen all of this before. So yeah, I didn't hate it.
Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head for where my mind went with this. It's Indiana Jones mixed with uh, the Da Vinci Code, but I thought it was still like fun. Um, you know, I do, just do not think Mark Wahlberg's a very good actor at this point in his career. I find pretty much everything he does to feel like very mailed in one note, and he's just always Mark Wahlberg at this point. So I felt like a lot of the scenes with him, I just was left wanting a little bit more. But I felt like Holland was really trying in this. I felt like
Yeah.
he was really like trying to put a good performance forward and trying to like act a little older. For what you're saying, it seems
Mhm.
like he was trying to like be more like suave and adult. And seeing him in No Way Home just a few weeks ago, where he's playing a 17 or very young 18-year-old, it's kind of weird to like see and not just be like, oh, you're a kid, like you are really a kid. But I thought a couple of the scenes were really uh really like fun. I think about the obviously the plane scene is probably the one people are going to talk about, where they're falling out of the plane. He's crawling up the cargo as it's falling out.
Right.
Um, but
Legolas shit.
yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. But I really liked when they when they get to like Chile or something like that. No, Barcelona. When they get to
Mhm.
Barcelona and they are going through like the club and stuff like that, looking for the entrance and where the hell and heaven keys type of
Yes.
thing. I thought
Mhm.
that was a really fun scene, and it was enjoyable. So I'll take it.
Yeah. I along those lines, I thought Chloe was a nice part of the movie. I liked her interplay with Holland, even if like this entire film kind of runs away from the sexual chemistry. Like it's not interested in any of that stuff, you know?
No,
I saw a review note that they don't actually spend any frames in the bed together when they're sharing the room. They're actually never in bed at the same time. It's like, wow. It's like I mean, shit, like sell Tom Holland, man. People love this guy. I don't
I
know.
I, I actually think the stuff with Braddock and Sullivan were much
Yes,
more sexual, but I guess because they're older, maybe I don't know. But
yeah,
yeah, I agree with you on Chloe. I thought she was nice, and in some of the Uncharted games, Chloe apparently has been a protagonist. I wonder if maybe they would
yes,
ever
Lost
kind of
Legacy.
set that up. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it for sure. Um, I think it's actually kind of interesting like the treasure they thought of, like Magellan's gold, which for the most part is fictional, but like I felt like the way they kind of set up this quest was kind of cool, and you have this framework for more films with uh, Drake and Sully, and then Chloe. Is she an ally? Is she an enemy? I feel like you have all that set up well for a future film. So just kind of come up with a new thing and go for it. Obviously, there's stuff to mine from the games in terms of plot. So just do that kind of thing. Not that different from making another Tomb Raider movie with
right.
Vikander, which they're supposedly still doing with Misha Green. Um, yeah, I think my favorite thing was kind of early on when they're doing the heaven and hell stuff, like you said in Spain. I thought that was the most cool. Even if I gotta say, like the proximity of like all these like treasures and like gates and stuff to like the civilization, like it's like right there. It's like two walls away from like where people are. It's like people would have found this shit by now. That's all I'll
Yeah.
say. But willing to throw some logic out the window. Just like Magellan's ship totally would have like crumbled to pieces as soon as they tried to
Yep.
fly it around like that. However, still kind of enjoyed it. I think if there's one thing I'd like to see in the future, it's maybe Holland kind of switching up his energy in action scenes, because when he's like fighting everyone on the ship, which they're fine enough scenes, but like he still kind of has that Spider-Man like personality
uh,
going on when he's
yeah.
fighting, like kind of like the banter with his enemies as he's kicking someone's ass, like shit like that. It's like
Hmm.
a little too familiar for me. And like if you could try and find a way to like hone in on this like Drake characterization and make it a little different, I think
Yeah.
that would help, just because people will think about Spider-Man when they see Tom Holland, whether it's fair or not.
Yeah, and for better or for worse, because he is a smaller person, a smaller man, there's always going to be the joke. He's facing a huge guy and just
Right.
is like, oh, da, da, da," like talking shit to him and trying to distract him and get like a sucker punch in. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of who he is at this point. But I hope he kind of finds a couple more courts to play in the future. But overall, Uncharted, I'd say that this is a success for them. I mean, it did decently at the box
Oh yeah.
office. Internationally, 139 million. Take that for an opening weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the box office between Uncharted and Spider-Man, it's all Tom Holland right now until the Batman comes out. But yeah, this is getting a China release as well, so I think this will be pretty successful, and the first official like release for the PlayStation Studios brand. And we got word that the Last of Us series isn't coming to HBO until next year, so
Yeah,
a bit of a wait for that. But the other Naughty Dog game, Uncharted, like, it could have been way worse, honestly, for something that's they've been trying to bring to the screen for such a long time. So
absolutely.
pleasantly surprised with it.